Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's January 23rd, 2017. I'm about to show you why Super Bowl 51 is scripted. New England Patriots, Atlanta Falcons, the two teams scripted to be there. We're coming up on the 1 year anniversary. It'll be January 27th, 4 days from today. January 27th, 2016, USA Today's The Big Lead, their sports page, wrote an article making fun of me. Last year, they called me a conspiracy theorist and a whole bunch of other names for explaining months in advance what would happen in the Super Bowl. In October of last year, so October 2015, I explained why the Broncos would win the Super Bowl. By November, I explained why it would be Broncos over Carolina Panthers. And as the season went on, I pointed out more and more things. I said why Von Miller would likely be the MVP if the Broncos won. I showed so much. I even showed why there would likely be a Black Panthers tribute at Super Bowl 50. And there was. It had everything to do with Cam Newton, the quarterback of the Panthers with the Black Panther on the side of their helmet, and the fact that the Super Bowl was being hosted by the 49ers in the Bay Area, where the Black Panther Party was established in 1966, the first season of the first Super Bowl. The founder of the Black Panther Party, his name is Huey P. Newton. We're going to talk about the language of Gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. In his article, he makes fun of Gematria and asks, is that even a real thing? Get this. Huey P. Newton equals 58. Cam Newton became the 58th quarterback to start in a Super Bowl last year. And who was MVP? Von Miller, number 58, who was drafted one pick behind him in the same draft class. Remember when Von Miller stripped him and Cam Newton looked at his feet with the football just sitting there and stared at it like it was a foreign object, like he'd never played football in his life? In the biggest game of his career? Just lets the football sit on the floor there so the Broncos can pick it up. Win the game with the scripted outcome. You know, before the Super Bowl was played, I showed how it was going to be a Super Bowl tribute to Super Bowl 24, where the 49ers whooped the Broncos' ass 55-10. Broncos end up winning Super Bowl 50 in the 49ers stadium with 24 points. I said that would be the payback. It's all a script, people. So we're about to talk about how Super Bowl 51 scripted all the same. This year at the beginning of the season, I said why the Falcons and Packers were two of my favorite teams out of three to be in the Super Bowl for the NFC. And I said it all had to do with the number 44. Yesterday, the Falcons advanced over the Packers with 44 points to make it to the Super Bowl. I didn't get my Super Bowl pick right this year, but the field of teams that I gave from the beginning of the season, those five teams, two of them are in the Super Bowl. I said in the AFC, it would be the Colts or the Patriots. That was easy to see. Patriots are there, so are Falcons. Anyway, let's get to Super Bowl 51 and what I missed and what I now see. Hindsight is always 20/20. If you have this knowledge, which I'm teaching here for free, you can put it to work just as I do. And if you want to read this post from last year, I'll link it down in the description. I'll also link my video response because at the end of this article, the author proves that he knows the language of Gematria, even though here he pretends to act like maybe it doesn't even exist. These people are shameless. So, okay, let's get to what is going on with Super Bowl 51. Last night I put out this video, Super Bowl 51 Riddle Solved and Related Deaths of Andy Marte and Yordanio Ventura. This video all morning has been frozen on 118 likes. It's got like 500 more views, but not a single like has gone up. And that's not a coincidence either. As I've been explaining, YouTube, they mess with my stats, and oftentimes they turn my stats into tributes to what I'm talking about. So 118 likes. 118 is the number for Patriots. Look at how many points were scored in the championship games yesterday. The NFC Championship was won 44-21. Again, Wisconsin equals 44. Georgia equals 44. No other states do. Packers and Falcons, all throughout history, it's all about 44 with these teams. And I've been explaining that for 3 years straight. So anyway, 65 total points in this game. When they played earlier this year, the score was 33-32, also 65 total points. 65 is 6 plus 5 is 11. 11 numerology. Football, a game of 11 on 11. 11 the master number in numerology. Anyway, 65 points in that game. Down here, the Patriots win 36-17, a sum of 53. The last time the Falcons and Patriots played was September 29th, 2013. The Patriots won 30-23, sum of 53 points. 53 is the 16th prime number. Here we are at the end of the 2016 season. Anyhow, 53, number of men on a football roster. If you add 65 points in this game, plus 53 down here, you get 118. And Patriots in Gematria sums to 118. 118 points total in the game. 118 corresponds with Patriots. And there's a whole lot more. January 18th, the news in the NFL was that Carl Sheffers, referee number 51, would be the head referee of Super Bowl 51 because he had the best grades on the year. Ref number 51 in the NFL, here he is, Carl Sheffers. Supposedly has the best grades, that's why he's umpiring or refereeing Super Bowl 51. That is a joke. As everyone knows, the grades for all NFL referees are fucking F. Fucking awful. Every fucking game. There shouldn't even be NFL rules because the rules in the NFL are so inconsistent. These refs just call holding whenever they want. They just call whatever the fuck they want whenever they want. There's no consistency. You know, we have to sit there and watch these fucking instant replays, and sometimes we can see what the outcome truly is, and then they come out and tell us it's something else. It's just all bullshit. You know why these zebras wear black and white? It's all Gematria. Black and white equals 113, just like Scottish is in Scottish Rite Freemasonry. Major number for Freemasonry for Scottish Rite, which is who's credited with creating American football. Number that shows up around pro sports all the time. But anyway, look at this. This announcement came January 18th. He's referee number 51. Super Bowl 51 is going to be the Patriots' 51st playoff game all time. And I pointed that out weeks ago. But anyway, look at this. When you write out 51 in Gematria, it sums to 46. When you write out Houston, Texas, where Super Bowl 51's at, it equals 46. Houston Texans equals 51, just like the word conspiracy. Patriots also has Gematria 46. Carl Sheffers is 12 letters. Tom Brady, number 12. Here's the Gematria for conspiracy and Houston Texans. Wikipedia has this shot from 2013 against Green Bay. Falcons just advanced over Green Bay. Green Bay has the big G, which represents 33. 2013, its independent year numerology is 20 plus 13 equals 33. Tom Brady's sitting at 33 career playoff games as he enters this Super Bowl. Falcons down from the 33rd parallel. Matty Ice equals 33. Patriots' final touchdown last night gave him 33 points. So the name Carl Sheffers, a lot of things that are interesting here. In the English reduction, his name equals 59, which is the 17th prime number. This is the Super Bowl that will be played in 2017. In Francis Bacon, his name equals 156. When you write out 33, it sums to 156. His initials are CC, the third letter, CC, 33. Huge number on this Super Bowl, as it often is in Super Bowl history. Number of Scottish Rite Freemasonry. You know, their most important degree, 33. Scottish Rite Freemasonry created American football. The name Carl has Gematria of 34. The Super Bowl will be Tom Brady's 34th playoff game, and Falcons has Gematria of 34. His 34th playoff game, Super Bowl 51 against the Falcons. And just wait, there's so much more alignment. And after he was announced as the referee, in all the articles that wrote about it talked about how outspoken Travis Kelce was, the tight end of the Chiefs, about what an awful referee this is. And every NFL referee, like I said, is fucking horrible. And it's intentional. It's because these assholes are like the guys that oversee the script, that make sure it stays on time, on point. It's a team out there scripting these games. The referees are in charge. The coaches are all in on it. The coaches, what they're doing is they're playing tech mobile. They're calling the wrong plays when they're supposed to open up the big, exciting touchdown. The only way to make sense of the NFL is to realize that that's the reason these coaches are talking together. You guys really think it's like this? You guys watch the NFL? They all cover their face the whole time they talk. You don't even know what the fuck they're saying. You know why? Because they're over there talking to the sideline across the field, telling them what the next fucking scripted play is. And all the drunk morons can't fucking see it. If their mouth was here, you'd see them going, calling out the bullshit. Wake up, morons. If you're not awake yet, make sure you stay tuned for the rest of this video. There's so much more scripting I haven't even showed you yet. We haven't even got to the part that will blow your brains out. This is just the beginning. So here's Carl Sheffers. Last year it was Clayton Bleekman from Omaha. Peyton Manning's favorite word, Omaha, does commercials about Omaha. They had to make the point that last year's referee was from Omaha. The week before the Super Bowl, they talked about how they accidentally painted both end zones with the Denver Broncos. And I was telling everybody, I was saying, these are the signs. They're telling you who's going to win the Super Bowl. The Broncos got it. So check this out. Last night, I hardly watched any of this game. I think I saw 4 plays with my own eyes. But one of the plays I saw was Julian Edelman dragging 2 Steelers way bigger than him down the field for a first down, which just made me laugh my ass off. I don't know how anyone thinks they're watching anything other than the WWE when they're watching NFL football. It is just so painfully scripted. Plus, the whole post-9/11 era, the Patriots have gotten every call. There's no pass rush against Brady, this guy that can hardly move, never even hardly gets touched by a finger. His receivers are all wide open. I mean, do you guys notice that Tom Brady's receivers are always wide open? It's because it's all scripted. This guy is not very good. Throws to wide open people all game. Little slant pass over the middle. His receivers running all day. Nobody can tackle his receivers. When they don't get the first down, the zebras come in and spot the ball a whole yard ahead. I wish you could go back over the last decade plus and see how many times the Patriots ball have had the ball spotted more than a yard from where they were tackled. Happens all the time with the Patriots. It's because everyone's drunk. Anyway, Julian Edelman, who nobody could even tackle last night, had 118 receiving yards. Chris Hogan, who wears number 15, had 180 yards. 15, the reflection of 51. Anyway, let me show you everything that's up with Julian Edelman, who had 118 yards, 1 touchdown, and a long of 41 yards. That was for the Foxborough crown. 118, the Patriots number. When you write out home, it equals 41. When you write out Foxborough, it equals 41. Super Bowl equals 41. The letters F-O-X. F is the 6th letter, right? O is the 15th letter in the alphabetic order. 1 plus 5 in numerology is 6. X is the 24th letter. 24 in numerology is 2 plus 4 is 6. Fox is 666. Last night, the Patriots won with 36 points. When you sum every number 1 through 36, it totals 666. It's a number that has a lot to do with prophecy. We'll talk about prophecy and Bill Belichick in a moment. The final book of the Bible, the book of Revelation, the book of prophecy and destruction. That's where the number 666 is made infamous. It's the 66th book of the Bible. The NFL, a game on Sunday like Christian church. The first Super Bowl season, the 66th season. NFL and Jewish Gematria is 66. Aaron Rodgers, from his birthday to the Super Bowl this year, is 66 days. And I guess the tribute is the Packers beat the Chiefs in Super Bowl I at the end of the 66th season. This year, on the 50-year anniversary of Super Bowl I, the Packers won, the Chiefs lost. Alex Smith, the QB of the Chiefs. Rodgers, the QB of the Packers. The 2 quarterbacks selected in the first round in 2005, 11 years earlier. Football, a game of 11 on 11. If you count every number 1 through 11 and add them together, it sums to 66. And the word revelation has gematria of 121. The square root of 121 is 11. Revelation, the 66th book. 11, the master number. The same people who've created your American football have created the Bible as you know it. All Bible versions that are 66 books, just pretty much all the Bibles in English, which is the Masonic language, they're all coded, riddled, edited. When you're reading the Bible, you're not reading the word of the God. You're reading the word of the Freemasons. So anyhow, Julian Edelman, May 22nd, 1986. 86, that special number, Deflategate 86. Season began with the Tom Brady Deflategate, which was all part of the script. I showed how Jimmy Garoppolo had the perfect numbers to start week 1 of the season on September 11th. I said for sure the Patriots were going to beat the Cardinals, even though they were 10-point underdogs. From week 1, I was saying, oh shit, too much lines up for the Patriots here. We might see these guys back in the Super Bowl. But anyway, Julian Edelman, his date of birth, May 22nd, 1986, date with a life lesson number of 51. Going to Super Bowl 51 for the Patriots' 51st playoff game. Date with 33 numerology. Last night, Tom Brady's 33rd playoff game of his career, AFC Championship. Date with 113 numerology, Scottish, mainstream, dishonest. From the Super Bowl to his upcoming 31st birthday, Houston equals 31. 31's the 11th prime number. Special number, from the Super Bowl to his birthday is 106 days. The word prophecy also has gematria of 106 as well as 52. Bill Belichick, born on the 106th day of the year, in the year 52. If the Patriots win this Super Bowl, they're going to be 5-2 in Super Bowls, a lot like 52, on February 5th. You know, 5-2 in Super Bowls, Brady and Belichick on 5/2. May 22nd, his date of birth, it's also the 142nd day of the year. Special number, 42, number of the Freemasons. When you write out 42, it sums to 142. It's the day that leaves 223 days left in the year. Masonic equals 223. I talked about how at the beginning of this season, Brady and Belichick both had major 2-2-3 tributes. Belichick, he came into the season. These are his stats before this season began, Belichick. At the end of last year, I documented this as well. Belichick ended the last season with 223 career wins and 187 with the Patriots. Both very special numbers. Brady, when he came in, he ended up getting his, I think it was his 223rd career game, Brady's first game after the suspension. Have to go back and look, but I know that they both got the 2-2-3 tribute. Anyway, from Brady's birthday, August 3rd, 2016, to the Super Bowl, his 39th birthday, we saw Manning retire at 39 last year. Now Brady going to the Super Bowl at 39, and all year they've talked about how much healthier he is than Manning at this age and how he can play into his 40s. I won't be surprised if Brady plays until he's 42. I think 42 will be Brady's last season. I have a feeling they're going to do that. Maybe 41, for the home fans in Foxborough. But I think he's going to play next year and definitely one more season, possibly up to 42. He was 4-2 in Super Bowls for a minute. Anyway, from Brady's birthday to the Super Bowl is 187 days. Belichick began the year with 187 Patriot wins, 223 all-time. You see Edelman, born on this day. All of this stuff is planned out way in advance. These athletes are born and bred to be. They are selected to these teams. It's all done by the numbers because this Freemasonic network that created American football has been doing this for thousands of years. Way older than English. Way older than American football. This is a way of operating that this gang at the top has been doing things by for a long time. My work, it shows how it goes way beyond the beginning of the history of this country. This has been going on. That's why I'm so confident in showing this work, because it's just been going on, the same thing all throughout history. So again, YouTube wanted to freeze the video at 118 likes. Here's another thing. This is huge. This is the 97th season of the NFL 2016. The name Bill Belichick in Gematria sums to 97 using the alphabetic order. And the number 97, it is the 25th prime number. 25. Falcons in Gematria sums to 25 and 34. The Super Bowl is on 2/5. 97, the 25th prime. So Bill Belichick, born April 16th, the 106th day of the year in the year 52, number of prophecy. Again, Edelman's birthday, 106 days after the Super Bowl. Edelman will turn 31 like Houston. Super Bowl 31 was won by the Packers over the Patriots in 1997. That is the only thing that creeps in my mind about why the Patriots could lose. The Packers and Falcons are linked in history. If the Falcons win, this will be it. We're about to talk more about the Falcons. It has everything to do with the Jesuit order. The Jesuit order's name is the Society of Jesus, which equals 191. That's the 43rd prime number. 191 is the 43rd prime. If the Patriots lost in the Super Bowl, Brady and Belichick would be 4-3. That's all I can come up with for the Falcons, but just so much stacks for the Patriots. Unless you want to consider Atlanta a city connected to Boston because the Atlanta Braves are originally from Boston. Matt Ryan went to Boston College, but I think that's just all part of the script for Brady and Belichick and their post 9/11 era dominance, the era of the Patriot and the New England Patriots. That Super Bowl where Green Bay defeated New England, it's very interesting that Green Bay won with 35 because the name Tom Brady equals 35. He was playing back at Michigan then. 35. Tom Brady's got 35 birth numerology too. Big number for his career. So anyhow, let's go through this now. Let's again look at the key details of why we have this Super Bowl 51 matchup. Why are the Patriots facing the Atlanta Falcons in this massive ritual that has a lot to do with the Patriots? You know, the NBA right now runs through LeBron James. The NFL in the post 9/11 era has ran through Tom Brady for the most part, and Peyton Manning. But Peyton retired. So, Boston, New England Patriots in their 57th season. The Atlanta Falcons are in their 51st season, heading to Super Bowl 51. The last time the Falcons were in a Super Bowl was 99. New England in Gematria equals 99. Earlier this year, I said why Pete Carroll, the Seahawks coach, would be beating the Patriots. Pete Carroll used to be the coach in New England. Pete Carroll got his 99th all-time win against the Patriots. Last time Falcons were in the Super Bowl was 99. So Matt Ryan, QB of the Falcons, went to Boston College, up by the Patriots. Atlanta Braves used to be the Boston Red Stockings, the Boston Braves. I said before the last baseball season was played why the Cubs would win the 112th World Series, and I said why the World Series would be synced with the Super Bowl. Houston in Gematria sums to 112. The 112th World Series ended on November 2nd. There's a reason those two baseball players died yesterday on the AFC and NFC championship. It's all ritual. It's all linked. Check out the video I put on those two dead baseball players, January 22nd, 2017, the date of the conference championships. Falcons over Packers, Patriots over Steelers. Anyway, Houston equals 112. So does Matt Ryan. Been saying this all year since way before the season began, going back a year from now. You know, right after the last Super Bowl ended, I put out all this information on the Super Bowl ahead. One of the first things I talked about was the alignment with the Atlanta Falcons, the Green Bay Packers. Been talking about the Packers since into the last season when Lindy Infante died just before the big game in Houston hosting Super Bowl 51. L.I. Lindy Infante dropped dead, former coach of the Packers and Colts. They had Packers and Colts as the Hall of Fame game, which they canceled. And lo and behold, neither of those teams made it to the Super Bowl. But they were both part of the narrative, no doubt. The only other QB name in the league that sums to 112 besides Matt Ryan is Andrew Luck. The Colts played in Houston 112 days from the Super Bowl. The game where the Colts blew a 14-point lead with 5 minutes left in the game. Anyhow, the Patriots being in their 57th season, again, that's the big Super Bowl number. I was talking about this with Peyton Manning all last year. Peyton Manning had the story about 57 kids named after him in Indiana, and the story was on ESPN's front page the whole season, a minute 31 long. When you write out 57, it sums to 131. When you write out championship, 131. When you write out Super Bowl, 131. When you write out World Series, it sums to 57. Falcons, they are in their 51st season. They began the Super Bowl season. Falcon equals 51. Again, Houston Texans hosting Super Bowl 51. Notice the Falcons and the Patriots. This is their all-time record. This is from the Patriots' perspective. This reads, their all-time record against the Atlanta Falcons is 13 games played, 7 wins, 6 losses. And notice the difference in points scored. 249 to 300. Huh. That's a difference of 51 points. And the last time these two teams played was September 29th, 2013, a date with 51 numerology. Too much, True Seeker. Too much. You guys want to argue with me that these games aren't scripted to the point and planned years and years in advance? My theory is that all of the Super Bowls, including expansion teams and just all of it, was all planned around the time the NFL launched with its current format. With the AFL and the NFL and the Super Bowl, I think they scripted it all out. I think all the Super Bowls and all the narratives are scripted way out. I think these players are born and bred to be people like Tom Brady, named accordingly. Tom Brady's a mediocre talent. Anybody could be Tom Brady. That's what the NFL fans should realize. His whole career has been scripted to make him look good. Wide open receivers, no pass rush. People can't tackle his receivers, spots, calls all day. His whole career is a joke. There's nothing impressive about this man. He doesn't throw a football that great. There's all sorts of us out here who can throw footballs real pretty. Tight spirals, on the money, all day. There's a lot of us out here. There's a lot of athletes in America. Tom Brady, he's just made to look good. It's the WWE. Born and bred to be. He was the 199th overall pick by the Patriots. That's the 46th prime number. Patriots 46. Houston, Texas 46. So check this out right here. 13. These teams have played each other 13 times. I was talking about how important 13 was all year, and it's part of the reason I went with Luck versus Manning in his 13th season for a repeat of the greatest game ever played. Number 233 is the 13th Fibonacci number, and it's also the 51st prime number. Here we are in Super Bowl 51, the Fibonacci sequence. If you don't know what it is, look it up. Fibonacci numbers. Here's how you spell it. Fibonacci has a gematria of 44. 44 date numerology for the Super Bowl. Wisconsin 44, Georgia 44, no other states sum to 44. Falcons win with 44 points. Notice the name Luck, and think about Luck in 13. Anyway, Luck has the connections, plus Andrew Luck like Matt Ryan. I thought based on all the evidence that was there, Lindy Infante's death, all of it, I thought more lined up for Andrew Luck than Matt Ryan. That's why I told people at the beginning of the year, I'd bet on both teams, but I ranked the Colts higher. I was wrong. But you see where I went wrong, Overlook this history of Boston and Atlanta. That's what I mean. The more knowledge, the more of a team you have, the more people sharing, working together, the more we're going to crack it. And I'm surprised no one during the course of the year pointed out the thing with Matt Ryan, Boston College, the Boston Braves. But we're figuring it out more and more each day, True Seeker. So anyway, it's going to be the 14th game all time between these two teams, the Falcons and the Patriots for the Super Bowl. When you write out 14, it sums to 41, just like Super Bowl, 14th game all time. Plus 14, just as a number, is the reflection of 41. If the Patriots win, they'll be 8-6 against the Falcons. Deflategate 86, symbol, triangle, pyramid, special number. If the Falcons win, they'll be 7-7 against each other all time. Tom Brady born in 77. I think there's a major tribute here with the President of the United States. The office in Washington's on the 77th meridian. Remember on 9/11, Flight 77 hit the 77-foot-tall Pentagon 77 minutes after taking off? You remember this? DC on the 77th meridian, the Pentagon 77 feet tall, Flight 77 literally hit the Pentagon, so we're told, 77 minutes after it took off. The word power equals 77. When you write out September 11th as words, it equals 77. The name Jimmy Garoppolo equals 77. Jimmy G got his start on September 11th to start this NFL season because Tom Brady was sitting out. And I said, watch, Jimmy G's going to win it. Jimmy G's going to win it. Garoppolo alone equals 52. The Super Bowl's on 5/2. Brady and Belichick trying to become 5-2. And also, True Seeker, to bring it back here with the 13. 41, this number we just talked about, is the 13th prime number. The Falcons and Patriots have played each other 13 times before meeting in this Super Bowl. The last time they played was September 29th. That's the day that leaves 93 days left in the year. Go back to the beginning of the season when the Patriots played the Texans, and I said, oh my God, I think the Patriots are going to be in the Super Bowl again. They're getting this huge 93 ritual. 93 important to Super Bowl 51 in NRG Stadium. We're going to talk about Martin Luther King Jr., who's all about 93. Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, a lot of black civil rights leaders, all about 93. The Falcons' new stadium opening next year. It's on Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, MLK from Atlanta. I think somehow all of this is part of the sick ritual. But this date with 51 numerology, 9 plus 29, 38, plus 13, 51. Now they're meeting in Super Bowl 51. Last year I pointed out how the last time the Broncos and Panthers had played, the game was all about 50, and then they met in Super Bowl 50. The sum of this game, also 53 points, the 16th prime. This is the Super Bowl to close out the 2016 season. Tom Brady, 39 years old. NRG equals 39. That's the name of the stadium hosting the Super Bowl. Construction began March 9th, which can be written 3/9 or 9/3. You know what? There's something interesting about Dan Quinn in the World Series tribute. Just remember, there's one more thing. From Dan Quinn's birthday, which was the start of the season, to the Super Bowl, is 147 days. 21 weeks. From September 11th, week 1 Sunday, to Super Bowl Sunday. And that's what it is every year. 21 weeks from the first Sunday to the last. But look, remember, there's a major World Series riddle here. The Atlanta Braves, originally from Boston. 112th World Series ended on November 2nd. Now the Super Bowl in Houston. Houston 112. World Series in Gematria, when you write it out, sums to 147. So does Master Builder. The Master Builder in numerology is number 22. Football, a game of 11 on 11, 22 men on the field. Very interesting, how Dan Quinn's birthday syncs up with this in light of the World Series parallels. There's a small narrative I could see for the Falcons upsetting the Patriots, but just so much lines up for the Patriots that it's hard for me to go against them. Again, the AFC is going for their 25th Super Bowl win all time. 97, the 25th prime on 2/5. I think that's a pretty big giveaway. I don't know how they go off it with that when they rig things by the numbers these ways. 97, the 25th prime, Bill Belichick 97. That just seems too much. It seems that the Falcons are scripted to be the third bird to be murdered by the Patriots in a Super Bowl. The Patriots have beaten the Philadelphia Eagles. They've beaten the Seattle Seahawks with the scripted 21 finish. Never forget it. Super Bowl 49 ended at the goal line with the interception. It was Russell Wilson's 21st pass intercepted by number 21 with 21 seconds left in the game. The down of that play was 2nd and 1. The date was 2/1, February 1st. All season, the Seahawks had not passed at the goal line a single time. That was because they had the most powerful running back in the league, Marshawn Lynch, who always runs for at least a yard. All they had to do was hand off to him. They had plenty of time. They had timeout. There was no reason to throw the ball there. And they threw it by the numbers for the scripted finish. Washington equals 49. It was Washington State that got sacrificed in Super Bowl 49 for the Patriots. Played on the 33rd parallel. So Tom Brady, here's his playoff stats. 33 games. He has 24 wins, 9 losses. Will he get his 25th win for the AFC's 25th Super Bowl in the end of the 97th season? 97, the 25th prime? You know what I mean? I think it's very likely he will. But you know what? I don't want him to. I want to see the Falcons win. I fucking hate the Patriots. I know it's all rigged, but I just can't stand this team. It's just too much of a joke. This mediocre talent getting touted. See, that's the difference between Tom Brady and LeBron. I mean, LeBron really is the man. I mean, is he even really a man? Was he born in a laboratory? He's looked like, a human god, his body, since he was in high school. He's just an incredible freak. And what the NBA has to do with LeBron is make him play like a moron. They have to make him look like a loser and a coward and unwilling to take the big shot. The Cavs, LeBron could probably score 100 points every single game if he wanted to. He could probably average 100 points for the whole season. Tom Brady is this mediocre talent that they have to make look like he's the greatest thing ever. So the league's run through these people, but there is a difference between those two men. By a lot. Tom Brady looking for his 25th win on 2/5. Falcons equals 25 and 34. It's going to be his 34th playoff game. Again, when you write out the word 1, it sums to 34. It seems that there's a lot of Super Bowl 1 tributes this year. It's been 50 years since Super Bowl 1. Brady equals 50. America 50. Donald 50. Donald Trump on January 19th, his final speech before Inauguration Day, all he could talk about was how his kids married to the right Jewish families, and the Patriots. If you haven't seen Donald Trump's speech from January 19th, look it up. All he can talk about are the Patriots. He references them so many times in a short period of time. It's like, is the most important thing in the world right now the New England Patriots? What's this about? Remember, everything about Donald Trump's campaign this past year had a lot to do with 187. 187. 187 days from Brady's birthday to the Super Bowl. Matt Ryan, here's something that's interesting. Matt Ryan, that's not it. I know what it is. It's the Falcons playoff record, which we'll get to in a moment. If Matt Ryan wins in the Super Bowl, he'll be 4-4, Georgia 44, 44 date numerology. However, if he loses, he'll be 3-5, Tom Brady 35 with the 35 birth numerology. The word Catholic equals 35. Think about the colors of the Catholic Church, the Jesuits, same colors the Falcons wear, which we'll talk more about. But it's possible. It's possible. Matt Ryan's got the numbers this year. He's the right age. He's 31. Tom Brady, 8 + 3 + 1 + 9 + 7 + 7. That's his birthday. August 3rd, 1977. Add those numbers together, 35. Go back and watch my videos on the Deflategate saga, the soap opera. It's all structured around the number 35. So here's Patriots' current playoff record, 31-19. Houston 31. They lost in Super Bowl 31. If they win, they'll have 32 wins. NFL 32, America 32. If you write out the word 32, it sums to 50. America, using the alphabetic order, is also 50. The Patriots, if they win, they'll have 5 wins in 9 appearances. 59 is the 17th prime number. 5 wins, 9 appearances looks something like 59. Championships won. If they win number 5, 5 has Gematria, 42 like Freemason. When you write out 42, it sums to 142, number coded into Julian Edelman. Falcons. If the Falcons were to win, they would have 10. When you write out 10 as a word, it sums to 39 like NRG. The Falcons just lost that 39-year-old player, Keon Carpenter, former player, suspicious death. I said, that could be a sign that the Falcons are going to go. 39's the number. Well, here they are. They've made it. If they get their 10th win, that's relevant. It would also make them 10-12. 1-0-1-2. Lose that 0, 1-1-2 like Houston, like Matt Ryan. And again, I have this theory that sometimes what the NFL is doing is they're scripting a narrative that they want to go with. But I wonder if they script these things so tightly that in case too much money falls on a team, if they can go, all right, well, Merry Christmas, Atlanta, you're going to win the Super Bowl. It's possible. It's possible. So a couple more things before we finish up here. Last night, they made the rule change last year. They changed the extra point to 33 yards. Last night, kicking the extra point to make the score 34-9. They missed, so the score was stuck at 33 against the Steelers, who were established in 1933 on the date with the life lesson number of 33 in Tom Brady's 33rd playoff game all time. You know what I mean? Then they win with 36. Again, we talked about 36 syncs up with Fox 666 Foxborough, where the game was at last night. Both the home teams win. Remember, home has the same gematria as Super Bowl. And that's another point I want to make. The Falcons-Packers game, which we're about to get to, it began with the Packers missing a 41-yard field goal. Green Bay 41, Rodgers 41. I said to my buddy who I was watching it with, it's funny, my friend who I've known since middle school, we've always been close. When I bought my home in the beginning of 2012, just out of nowhere, he got all this motivation to save and sell things and get this money so he could go out and buy a house. We both lived in Seattle. He ended up buying a house up north of Seattle just like me, so now we live a mile apart. We've lived a mile apart since we were in middle school. But anyway, he's one of the people who's been watching me do this whole time, and he thinks it's interesting, but he can't accept that the games could be rigged. You know why? It's because it's his favorite thing in the world. So I told him yesterday when we were watching the game, I said, uh-oh, he's a Packers fan. I said, uh-oh, that 41-yard miss, it doesn't make me feel good about the Packers' chances today. We'll see what happens. And I didn't make him too mad because he felt that they were going to lose too. But anyway, something else that my friend scoffed at a little bit in the game, at the end of the first half, if you were watching the game, they showed how the Falcons were up big 4 years ago in the NFC Championship against the 49ers, and the 49ers came back and won. Right after they showed that highlight, Joe Buck goes, the Falcons, they've never been to the mountaintop. And I looked at my friend, I said, did you just hear that? He hates Joe Buck too. I said, I guarantee you he just said that because of Martin Luther King Jr. I said last Sunday was Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. His final speech was, I've been to the mountaintop. Martin Luther King Jr. is from Atlanta. Well, I wanted to check out about the new stadium and just see if there were any clues there for what's going on. And right away, when I looked up the address of the new Falcons Stadium that opens next season, the address was 441 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive Northwest, which just, it made me laugh and want to vomit all at the same time. Because if you've ever followed my work, I have several videos on Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. I've shown how both of these men died by the number 144. The address is 441 Martin Luther King Jr. Drive. Something cool with numbers. Easy to remember. 12 times 12 is 144. 21 times 21 is 441. 144, reflection of 441. 12, reflection of 21. So anyway, this address of this stadium, check this out. Mercedes-Benz Stadium, what it's going to be called, equals 98. It's opening next season, the 98th season of the NFL. It's like how Coliseum equals 97, and this year they brought the Coliseum back in LA for the 97th season of the NFL before opening the new stadium next year. You see how this is all done? It's all rituals. Falcons will be playing Tom Brady to close out the 97th season. The Super Bowl is going to boost ticket sales for the Falcons no matter what happens. Probably going to sell out the stadium. It's a city that's hard to sell sports tickets, so you see why they would do this. You're going to build a new stadium in Atlanta. You got to hype up those fans that don't have the money to spend on the tickets. This is how they do it. You know, the people that are into the games, their team's winning, oh, new stadium, all right. I'm going to go out and take out that money to buy those season tickets that I probably can't even afford. All these people living in debt, watching these sellouts on the stage. So anyway, Martin Luther King Jr. equals 93. Malcolm X equals 93. Both men dead at age 39. Martin Luther King Jr. gave a speech, I've been to the mountaintop, on April 3rd, the 93rd day of the year. Look up the name of the temple and the address of where he gave that speech at in Memphis. It's Mason Temple, and the address is 930. 930. 93. Important number all throughout history. Number for Saturn, the keeper of time, 93. Also, with regards to Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X died on a date with a 44 numerology. His assassin got 44 years in prison. His assassin's name in Gematria sums to 44, Thomas Hagen. When you write out 44, it sums to 144. Martin Luther King Jr. was killed on April 4th, 1968. His assassin, or his supposed assassin, somebody who said that they were innocent the whole time, and I'm sure they were a prison escapee, James Earl Ray, he died in prison April 23rd, 1998, a date with 144 numerology. And April 23rd is also the 113th day of the year, 113. Hello. Like I said, these Freemasons do the same thing all throughout history by the same numbers. Remember Super Bowl 49, Patriots and Seahawks? They were both 14-4. They were both 14-4, meeting in the Super Bowl in Glendale, Arizona. And let me show off the Gematrinator calculator real quick. The Gematrinator calculator made by Derek, the all-star of the Gematria movement right now, by building this tool and putting out all this work for everybody, doing it for free just like me, just trying to help and do his part. This is using the alphabetic order right here. Glendale, Arizona. 144. Seahawks versus Patriots, both 14-4. It's because these numbers are so important to this game. That number represents time, 144. Let me give you one more. We need some Jewish gematria. The word time, 144. The square root of 144 is 12. 12 months in the year, 12 hours in the morning and the PM. Every day, there's 1,440 minutes, 1440. Tom Brady wearing 12, the square root of 144. Fibonacci numbers. Fibonacci equals 44. When you write out 44, it sums to 144. The 12th Fibonacci number happens to be 144. The 13th is 233. So a little more to finish up here. The NFC Championship was very interesting yesterday. Last game in the Georgia Dome against Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is 33 years old. Once upon a time, Brett Favre was the 33rd overall pick by the Falcons in the 1991 draft. Traded up to play with the Packers with the big G, the 33 on the side of their helmet. Francis Bacon Gematria. Big G represents 33. Brett Favre, 33rd overall pick on the 33rd parallel in Atlanta. That was in 1991, 25 seasons ago. You know, here we are 25 years later. Falcons 25, Super Bowl on 2-5. Look at though, the 33rd-year-old Aaron Rodgers, the final QB to play in the Georgia Dome in a very memorable game, winning the NFC Championship, sending the Falcons to the Super Bowl for their second time. These teams played earlier this year, October 30th. The Falcons won with 33 to 32. That game to yesterday's NFC Championship was 84 days, or 2 months and 23 days, or 12 weeks. Atlanta's on the 84th meridian. When you write out United States of America, it sums to 84. If you never read the book 1984, published in 1949, a book about a futuristic nation always at war, where the people, their minds are occupied with beer, gambling, and football. That's all it took to fill up the horizons of their mind. You never read that book, you better check it out. That book was a warning for the world we live in. United States sums to 40. United States of America, 84. When you write out 40, it sums to 84. Atlanta Falcons, 40. Dan Quinn, 40. Yesterday's date numerology, 40. The Jesuits, the Masonic order within the Catholic Church, their colors are red and black, just like the Falcons. Jesuit 84. Donald Trump is a Jesuit. He went to Fordham University. 52 years, he began his Jesuit training before taking the White House. Government equals 52. White House 52. Prophecy 52. The Jesuits are within the Catholic Church, the CC, the 33. In the history of the Catholic Church, there was a 33-day pope. He died on a date with 44 numerology, the kill number, the word kill 44. If you take the divisors of 44 and add them together, they sum to 84. This 33-day pope died 1 day after the Jesuit order's birthday. Most people suspect he was poisoned with arsenic the day before the Jesuit order's birthday. Arsenic in Gematria equals 33. Arsenic's the 33rd element on the periodic table. Atomic weight is 74, 33, 74, the Masonic combo. So anyway, just with regards to Jesuits and 44, you know, the Falcons won with 44 points over the team from Wisconsin, Georgia and Wisconsin, the only two states with 44 Gematria. Going back a year up to the present, I've been talking about Packers, Falcons, potential teams in this Super Bowl, and 44. It's so predictable. It's so scripted. Aaron Rodgers, from his birthday to yesterday's game was 51 days. The Falcons advance over Aaron Rodgers 51 days after his birthday, the Super Bowl 51 season, and the Falcons' 51st season. Houston Texans, conspiracy 51. Again, Houston Texans hosting Super Bowl 51. Just to show you, Matt Ryan, the small way, sums to 31, the big way, 112. Just like Houston. Houston, with the S exceptions, also 40. Matt Ryan, 31 years old, born on the 137th day of the year. That's the 33rd prime number. Matty Ice, his nickname equals 33. Dan Quinn, from his birthday to yesterday's game, was 133 days. It was also a span of 134, and there is something going on with the Catholic Church and 134 that I cannot put my finger on. I still don't know what it's about. So yeah, that's pretty much it, Truth Seeker. That's your scripted Super Bowl. You know what I would do? I would look at to see if there's a number 97 on the Falcons, on the Patriots. Maybe look at them since it's the 97th season. Maybe compare Julio Jones and a few more star players. I should have looked at number 52 on the Patriots. Or not number 52, number 33. Dion Lewis, his name in Gematria sums to 52. He's had a lot of ritualistic games this year. In some other players, there might be some more key alignment that really will lock you into who's going to win this game for sure. If you put the gun to my head, I'd have to vote on the Patriots. But, you know, if you're a Falcons fan and that's where your heart is, there's a narrative there. I've showed you the narrative, and you know, it's just like at the beginning of the year. I showed you the narrative for the teams, and I chose ultimately, in the end, why I thought it would be Giants and Colts. I thought there was the most evidence there, and I was wrong. What I'm not wrong about is that the games are scripted by the numbers. Seeing the right numerical attributes to lead you to the right who's going to win or lose outcome, you know, that's a matter of having enough puzzle pieces, and I think there's quite a bit here, but there's always more, Truth Seeker. So down in the description, like always, my How to Gematria video. You want to learn these skills? Take 15 minutes to do so. Apply it. Amaze yourself with what you find. You know, this Gematria calculator makes life easy. If you watch my How to Gematria video, you'll know what these different methods are and which ones you want to use, which ones are most pertinent. And again, down below, I'll also link this article from the USA Today making fun of me about a year ago. Ryan Phillips. Ryan Phillips, I want you to have a real interview with me. Let's get the word out. Let's let everybody know Gematria is a real thing and it's how these leagues are scripted. You know, let's not pretend. At the end of this article, if you read it, you'll notice he says there's 47,000 vile things on my blog, and then he links the song We Do from The Simpsons, which is about the Freemasons. We Do equals 47. The first Super Bowl season of the NFL was the 47th season. That was the year 66. In Gematria, the word foundation equals 47. Framework, authority. Remember at Super Bowl 47, they had the 33-minute blackout? That was the 49ers and the Ravens. The Freemasons have something called Euclid's 47th problem about how to establish foundation for something. The foundation for the road ahead with the scripted Super Bowls began in the 47th season of the league. Not by coincidence. And no coincidence, this man paid tribute to that number at the end of this article, which you can read all about. Until next time.